everyone. Hello and welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for Taurus. I'm Julia Mijas, and with me today is...
I'm Jamie Kale Miller. Well, hey there, Taurus. Let's start out by talking about relationships. This month, your relationship house is full to bursting with Scorpio placements. We've got the Sun, we've got Mars, we've got Ceres, we've even got Mercury, especially at the beginning of the month. There's so much going on, bringing a lot of your attention to the realm of your relationships. Letting your partner shine while the Sun is passing through your seventh house is a really great idea. And it's doing that for the first 2/3 of the month. Now, there is going to be a Scorpio new moon in the seventh house also, and new moons are a really great time for new beginnings, fresh starts. So that could be like a reset button for your relationship too. There's so much of a feeling of intimacy with all of this Scorpio action going on in your first house, for sure. Now, I do want to say that Venus, which is the planet of relationships, is passing through your sixth house this month, especially starting out after the first week of the month. Venus in the sixth house is a little bit dicey in the sense that it can bring an office romance or an office crush, and that's not always the best behavior in an office. So let me toss the ball over to Julia now, because Julia, I know you've got better ideas for what to do with that Venus in the sixth house in the career department.
Oh, yes, I do, Taurus. Definitely be careful that HR doesn't catch you if you are crushing on someone at the office. But there are also some very practical things with having Venus in the sixth house, which is really good to know about in terms of career for you this month. Wonderful, wonderful to have Venus in this house because it's a work house. So that means that you could be getting along really well with the people you work with. You might also get better office or working conditions with Venus in the sixth house because she brings a little bit of luck wherever she goes. If you do anything Venus oriented at your job, whether that's working with people, anything in design, beauty, diplomacy, mediation, you're going to be very fruitful this month. It's going to be extra productive having Venus in the sixth. It's also very nice in terms of your health too, gives a little boost to health as well. The other good news for you in terms of your career is that Saturn, which traditionally rules Aquarius, your 10th house of career, is finally going direct. And this is early in the month. It's been retrograde for a number of months. So what that's going to feel like is maybe for the past 3-4 months, you've been feeling a little stuck. You've been feeling like you've been moving backwards at the job, maybe just treading water and not going anywhere. Now Saturn is finally moving forward. And since it rules that 10th of yours, that means that your career can finally start feeling like it's moving a little forward too. You're a little less stuck. So I think that's overall a very good thing. I know Jamie has some very good stuff to tell you about finance too this month.
Yeah, and particularly at the end of the month, it's going to be pretty supportive and helpful when the Gemini full moon lands in your second house in the last week of the month. So there's that full moon in your second house, which means that it's opposite the Sun in your eighth house. And this is going to bring a bit of a push-pull around your finances. And so getting your finances into balance between yourself and any partners that you may have, whether that's, a spouse or a business partner, is going to be really important to do. And you'll want to put a lot of careful thought into that. But the really good news is that Ceres, which has been in Scorpio for the first 2/3 of the month, and Ceres is not that happy in Scorpio, she moves on into your eighth house at the end of the month. And that means she's moving into Sagittarius, where she loves to be. And this is great news. Now, the eighth house is a house of debt and loans, taking out loans, mortgages, buying that car, your credit cards, all forms of debt are governed by the eighth house. And when Ceres moves there, she brings her careful sensibility about, how do you manage money? Now, Ceres is going to be in Sagittarius, where she loves to be, which is terrific because Ceres in Sagittarius is downright lucky about money. And that's really tied to the warm, benevolent, and generous feeling of Ceres in Sagittarius. So being generous with people that you're tied to financially could bring bennies back to you this month, Also, you might find yourself looking at some benevolent debt, like taking on some debt that actually serves you and is lucky for you going forward. Now, think carefully about it, certainly, but there could be some good debt in your path at the end of the month. Well, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this horoscope, please do like it, subscribe to our channel, and tell your friends all about us.
And you can find us at our website, pandoraastrology.com, to get a reading with one of us, and also find us on Patreon for workshops and classes. And we'll see you around the cosmos.
Bye-bye.